Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. All depends the part of the world you are joining us from. I remember Mazi Austin, and of course we are here once again to look at issues as our manners are. So want to talk from a bit broader perspective. I mean, larger perspective, so to say. It's important. So, want to talk from a global setting to, domestication of what we are discussing. That is exactly what we want to talk about. It will interest you to know, very, very important. Very, very important. Most times when we try to, make us understand how the world functions and the connectivity to us as a people. Some of us say, oh, it doesn't matter, it's not important to talk about that, it's not important to, look into that. But one thing I assure you, if you care to know, is this. We are not living an isolated life. We are not living an isolated life, and we cannot also live an isolated life. The world is so, the world is so interconnected that what is happening even in your village concerns the world. You might say, oh, it doesn't concern anybody. It concerns the world. So it's for you to either stand up to the occasion to understand that the world is so interconnected that you cannot just do your thing and say, oh, you don't care how the world feels, you don't care how the world interprets it. You must care. It's a must. It is a must. You must care. You cannot, as a matter of fact, relegate the place of the world in what you do. In same vein, is also for you to understand that you cannot also stop from learning from the world. Yes, you cannot stop from learning from the world. You cannot stop from learning from the world. The world is, so interconnected. The world studies you, and they also expect you to study her. So it's symbiotic in nature. It is a symbiotic thing, No one of you cannot do without the world cannot do without you. It's very, very important to understand that. As a matter of fact, this program will do everything possible to end it at least, or at most, so to say, for, in less than 2 hours time, we'll definitely close it. It's a calling program. By the time we open the line, for those of you who would love to make a contribution, you can call. Remember, as you try to share this program, you will get notifications like, Facebook telling you stuff like, if you want to share this program, but that shouldn't in any way discourage you. You will hear something like this page has repeatedly shared false information. Ignore. It's always the case whenever there is a global conflict and I'm reporting it. You know, most times we try as much as possible. We know what we are doing. We try as much as possible to give a balanced reportage, you know, trying to tell you what is happening from left and also what is happening from right. Not just being pro-left or pro-right. The essence of that is this. This platform is not only followed by the Biafran population. We have people from every walk of life. Also, that is for one reason. And also, we try to share a balanced information, knowing the fact that our people must have a balanced information for them to make an accurate self-judgment. So, sometimes if I lift news that come from the other side, for instance, during the early time of Ukraine-Russian war, as I was trying to bring Russian side of the story, and also if I bring the Ukrainian side of the story, it's not a challenge. The Facebook doesn't find it issue with me because it's a pro-West. So when I bring Russian side, is a fake or false news, as the case may be. The same way in the ongoing conflict, whenever I pull Iranian news or what Iran has done, it is false, it is fake. But whenever I pull out what America and Israel has done on Iranians, it is not fake. Remember, this platform is owned by the Western bloc. So you shouldn't expect them to be fair to anyone that tries not to fall in line to their own definition of how the story will be pushed out. So when you see such notification, ignore. Definitely they are going to remove it. They did it at a time when Trump entered and they discovered that I wouldn't say pro-Russia, but a government that is not really going to be hard on Russia emerged. They left my page, they left it to be reporting the balanced news, you know. So I believe also by the time the war gets to a stalemate, they will also let me be, and I will be going. So I have no issue with it. Do not take that to your heart. To your heart, it's not an issue anyway. So we are talking about a very serious topic. And one of those things I try to let us understand in this, you know, there are things our people will ordinarily say. If you look at the title of this program, the Middle East Conflict and East Lessons to Us. Every day there are opportunities for us to learn. Every single day, there are countless opportunities for us to learn. But the problem we have is this. We have chosen not to learn. Rather, we have, unfortunately, some of us have chosen to believe on what they believe. And let me tell you, like I always say it, I repeatedly say it. It doesn't matter how you think. It doesn't matter how you want to interpret them. It does not in any way negate the fact of realism. It doesn't matter. It does not matter how you want to see the world. It does not stop the status of the world to be what it is. So you own yourself either being open to learn in order to survive, in order for your vision to survive, or you remain in the circle you have, the rigid circle you have defined for yourself, and suffer it. All over the world currently, every nation, every people are studying what is happening in Middle East, including those who are also in self-determination. Everybody is studying. Everybody is trying to understand the matrix of global dynamics. Everybody is trying to take a scientific and calculative interpretation of what is going on in that region. You could see the Kurdish in Iraq develop interest to join the war. The Kurdish in Syria, the Kurdish in Syria warned them and said, you might be used and done. So everybody is carefully studying the trajectory of the conflict. We also own ourselves that duty to also understudy, to the ignorant ones. When conflict arises, it becomes a moment of them laughing, shouting, entertainment. To the wise one, it is the time for them to understand power permutations. It is the time for them to understand the reality of modern warfare. It's time for them to understand the center of global power lining. It is the time for them to understand the strategy for survival for the wise. But to the gullible and the weak, it is a time for them to, hysterias and destructive tantrums and chagrins. Forgive my much grammar usage. Let me simplify. In the midst of war, let me not tell you something. You see, when the war broke out between Russia and Ukraine, Americans were busy funding Ukraine so that Russia could bring out even what Russia refused to bring out. Because there are certain weapons a country will have. The country will hide it. The country will not make it open. But in the midst of conflict, you can arm their opponent, forcing that country to start using that weapon they don't want to make open. So while Russia-Ukraine war was ongoing, Americans were busy understudying the Russian electronic warfare system, understudying the Russians' ability to manipulate American radar system. In fact, as I speak to you, the big military industrial complex in America are already reviewing a lot of American defense systems, because they realize that in Ukraine, most of them could not intercept Russian missiles. So they have to go back to work. That is learning. To the weak, is war. To the wise, is an opportunity to make amends where necessary. Make amends. Learn. Understand. And that is what brought me to today's topic. Ordinarily, there are thousands of things to talk. But I want us to learn. I want us to learn. I want us to understand. Because the secret of our survivalhood lies in our ability to interpret events. Not only interpreting it, indigenizing it. There is absolutely no people who maintain 100% indigenous knowledge. There is no people. People all over the world go outside, copy. They look at event, understudy the event, then come back home to reconfigure it to suit the local system. And that is how people all over the world have been surviving. Those who are experts in English language will tell you that English language is not even indigenously England. There are importation of other people's language to give an English language a broader interpretation and a broader perspective. Does it make it less widely spoken language? The answer is no. That English imported certain terminologies from other languages, does it make it less English? No. So it is to a people to understand by studying other people, other events, global events, how they are happening. Now let's look at Iran. There are certain things we can look at Iran and learn. There are a lot of things we can look at Israel and learn from Israel. There are a lot of things we can look at US and learn from US. If only we are disposed, if only we are ready to learn as a people. As a matter of fact, the issue of learning is not even something you expect much people to do. But what I'm trying to say, every single one of us should be interested to learn, interested to understand global dynamics. Now, let's look at Iran. Have you asked yourself a question? Do you know that when US, somebody is even telling me that English borrowed a lot from France. Thanks so much. A truth at a time. Thanks so much for adding up to that. Now, let me tell you something. If you look at Iran, you will understand that US strategy of removing the leader and having the country to implode didn't work. Pentagon and Jerusalem had a very smart strategy of, in fact, at the earlier time of the war, their strategy was that this war is just going to be 4 days war. That was the 4 days war. And how was it planned? That within this 4 days war, in the first 2 days, we are going to remove the leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran. That if we get him out of the way, then there will be uprising, implosion, that Iranians will rise, probably take over the government. It was a strategy on the side of Israel. It was a strategy on the side of US, Pentagon. And what did they do? They took away the man. They took away Ayatollah Khamenei, got him removed from the system, and expected the system to naturally collapse on its own, to experience what we call implosion, internal outburst, internal, kind of internal burst. It was a very strategic move. But why is it that despite that operation, Iran did not collapse? Why is it that despite that, the removal of Ayatollah Khamenei, there was no social uprising, there was no social collapse in Iran? And that is exactly what we need to learn as a people. There is no people's culture that is the best, because every culture has a test of contact with other cultures and borrow certain level of that contact. Understand that very well. Understand that very well. So when they remove the Iranian leader, the supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, US expected power tussle to happen. Who is to replace, who is to do this? US expected the Iranians to rise against the system in their land. And America watched. That never happened. And as I speak to you, the war is now, America is no longer having a favorable opinion, public opinion on that war. Now, let's look at the organic structure of Iran. Because this is a social science. This is how healthy people survive. They look at events, they make a dissection. They make a surgical understanding of why is it that this did not happen. Remember, those who planned that operation are the advanced people in the society. America is an advanced nation. Israel is also an advanced nation. So the intelligence, before they took that operation of taking away Ayatollah Kayemi, the intelligence must have told them that if you do that, you will have this result. And of course, it never happened. And that is why it is important for us to study what actually happened. What are the internal dynamics that did not allow that? In fact, it is practiced all over the world. In fact, not all over the world. It's a biblical theory. It is a biblical strategy of war. That's why he said, strike the shepherd, the sheep will scatter. Every country, most countries use that theory, war theory. They hit the head, then you watch the sheep go in disarray. Even in IPOB, it is used. The state also applied the same theory. The theory that applied on Iran that didn't work, they also applied it on IPOB. And of course, sometimes when we talk about some people, there was Iranian leaders were removed, and the system did not collapse. We have to learn. Some of us, in our ignorance and poor knowledge of understanding West, say, "Oh, are you saying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be removed?" Already, the system. Sorry, network. Let me repeat. I posted something. Somebody said, what are you, I said something, I said Iranian leaders were removed and the system did not collapse. I said we have to learn something from that. Some of us came. There are people who do not, sometimes wonder where they come from. They say, "Oh, are you saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be removed or taken out?" You are ignorant. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is already taken out. The system have restricted him. You can choose to live in your illusion. The system, the Nigerian system, took him out and restricted him. He's restricted. Either you accept that reality or you keep wangling in ignorance. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't make the world to come to your level of self-denial. Now, if you look at Iran, you will understand. As a matter of fact, when taking out somebody does not literally mean killing the person. When you adopt somebody and kept him in a restricted environment, is also another way of taking out. Because sometimes I don't know how English language, although it's not our mother language, but sometimes at least we help ourselves to understand basic usage of language. There are ways you can take one out. Arafat, the leader of the Palestinians, was taken out by being exposed to toxic elements. Arafat was taken away through agency of bioweapon. We don't read. Some of us, not we, some of us don't read. But we are experts in coming online and talk. And the world look at us and laugh at the level of our ignorance. There are so many of us cannot even make elementary research. But you see them talking, you wonder where they're coming from. And as a matter of fact, they have been convinced that it is when you talk constantly in foolishness, in ignorance, in emptiness of mind, that you are making a point. No. Fools also talk repeatedly. So there are ways you can take away somebody, either through death, through ailment. Arafat was exposed to bioweapon, which became a threat to his system. You can also take somebody away through abduction and imprison him, in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But in the case of Iranians, their supreme leader was taken away. And there was no implosion. There was no collapse of the system. Now, let us ask ourselves, what did they do that sustained them? Remember, it's a state actor we are discussing here. For those of you who do not understand, Iran is a state actor. So being a state actor, they are supposed to even be less careful, less disciplined than non-state actors like IPOB. If a state actor that controls her police, her army, her defense, her industries, her resources, is extremely disciplined and careful, then a non-state actor that does not even control anything, IPOB does not control the resources. You do not control the army. You do not control a police system. Should even be more careful and analytical than a state actor. If a state actor is this concern of implosion, why won't a non-state actor be more concerned? Now let's further. Now, if you look at Ayatollah Khamenei, you discover that for 40-something years of controlling Iran, he made Iranians to understand one thing, that taking away of a leader is something that can happen anytime. It's something that can strike anytime. You cannot calculate it. He built that consciousness in the lives of the leaders of Iran. That was why when the Iranian president died of helicopter crash last year or last 2 years ago, less than few hours, they were able to stabilize the society as if nobody died. I mean, the president, not supreme leader, the president of Iran. When he died on helicopter crash en route to Iran, when the helicopter hit a rock, a mountain, within short time, they covered that gap as if nothing happened. When their supreme leader died, there was no rivalry. Within short time, they covered the gap. The secret remains that every Iranian leader have the consciousness that anything can happen to him. Because anything can happen to him, him as a person is prone to elimination, is prone to biological attack, is prone to assassination, is prone to even the age factor. Because of this reality, they made an option that in every Iranian leader you have automatic successors. So when the leader bows out in any way, in any form, the system is designed to cushion that vacuum unnoticed. Now, remember, I repeat it again, this is a state actor running such a disciplined and coherent system. Now, how much more a non-state actor that has not even controlled anything? in the case of IPO. Now you will now understand. We are not learning everything from Iran because Iran does not have everything good. Yes, there are areas Iran is bad and is doing terribly bad. We cannot start going to learn from that side. But on the leadership angle, Iranians have a lot to teach the world. Iranians have a lot to teach the world. Iranians have a lot to teach us, who called ourselves freedom fighters. So, in our own case, Mazi Nnamdi was arrested, taken to Nigeria. While all these things were happening, nobody was even briefing the institution that's supposed to start fixing things, stabilizing things internal. Nobody cares to brief them. For the past 80 days, Mazi Nnamdi was held in Kenya. Those who were managing his itinerary, his siblings, kept it for themselves. The leadership only was informed by public announcement of Malami. Now, compare Iranian system and our system. You see why, if we're exposed to battle, we are vulnerable. My friend, Prince Jonathan, will always tell me, say, Austin, do not, let's look at areas we have positive. I agree with him. But to be frank with you, if we do not get hard on ourselves, if we do not inculcate the ideal culture, we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go. So you cannot see a state actor we are talking about is as disciplined, coordinating as they are. Then tell me why the justification of a non-state actor to be loose-guided. To be too indisciplined. You know, most of us will always say we want to be Biafra. But remember, there is a mentality you have to possess that the world watch. I always say the world, you must learn from the world, just the world, the way the world is observing you. Oh, some of you will think as I on this camera, I will talk anyhow, not being conscious of how the world listens. So, that is the secret when people say, oh, why is the war being difficult for US and Israel to conclude? It is because of sound leadership structure. Sound leadership structure. Not leadership structure where somebody will come in the name of Onyendu said. He will just talk nonsense. An individual will just stand and say Onyendu said. In fact, the individual in question is even communicating to the structure through that public means. If Onyendu has said, he has not even communicated to the structure, the established structure. He's even sending the same message he's sending to the structure from the same public angle. Then you tell me that these guys are serious? Just tell me. I might not be correct. I might not be correct. After all, I was trained from humanity ground. By the virtue of what I studied, I came from background of humanity. And by the virtue of elective courses I did, I came from social science, which involve these two areas of disciplines involved on studying human behavior. the nature of man, human activities in the past, present, and in future. So I can't stand here and say opposite that all my submissions are absolutely correct. No. And that's why when I speak, I try as much as to ask rhetorical questions. You might not openly respond to me, but down in your heart, respond that. So, if the Iranians are disciplined, and that discipline is paving for them, from 4 days prediction to 4 weeks, and nobody is now giving date again, that is to tell you that you cannot defeat any organized people. It's practically impossible. Any organized people can never be defeated. It doesn't matter how you. That's why, even is also biblical. If we look at when people were trying to build house to where God is, they were highly organized. The centralization was superb. God came with a theory and said, the best way we have to destroy these people is force them to have a decentralization, language decentralization. This one say another one, this one say another one, this one say another one. If you succeed in establishing this information, multiple signal of information, they will collapse. And immediately God introduced that agenda, the project of building Tower of Babel was halted. Till today, it was halted. Till today. It doesn't matter. Let us understand something. Wishing is good, but wishes are not realities. We can wish for Biafra. It's good, it's perfect, it's amazing. As a matter of fact, nobody wish Nigeria for himself and his children. Because Nigeria is by all definition epicenter of failure. But beyond wishing, you ask yourself, what and what are you doing in order to achieve what you want? What and what are you doing? So look at Iranians. Highly structured. They respect the structure. They are disciplined to the structure. They are committed to the structure. They were not ready to hear. In fact, as a matter of fact, there is this prince in exile, Iranian prince in exile. Do you know immediately Ayatollah was killed, he started speaking, giving order from exile to the Iranians. If it is our people, that is why education, history, philosophy. Of course, when I talk of philosophy, I mean some philosophy, not philosophy of the type this boy Paris. Seminary philosophy. How big seminary philosophy? He didn't finish, as a matter of fact. Now, all these things are very, very important. When Ayatollah was taken away, the Iranian prince in exile started giving order to the Iranians on what to do. Go to the street. The Iranians ignored. Because they have been so assimilated with structural system. And it became a difficult thing for CIA to have a successful operative. Because it was CIA and the Mossad that advised the IDF and Pentagon to take, if you take away the supreme leader for us, don't worry, we will finish the rest of the work. We will make sure, please, this is not the time for calling. So, that if you take away, I don't know. I'm still online. This is not, hello? Sorry. Can you hear me? Yes, but I'm still online. I have not opened the line for calling. I will get back. So CIM, the Mossad, drafted the war plan and said, if you take away the supreme leader, we introduce to them another, and they will follow. As a matter of fact, IDF, Israeli Defense Force, Pentagon, had to do the surgical operation, taking away Ayatollah. Immediately Ayatollah was taken away, the Iranian prince in exile started consistent issuance of order. He started releasing all manners of orders. The people ignored. If it is our people, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was taken off. The Nigerian Intelligence Agency introduced EBA. What did our people do? They abandoned the structure and lined up. See, sometimes it's not even the Fulanis that are holding us. Sometimes it's not even the Fulanis that are holding us. It's not even Britain. It is your mental disposition. It is your mental disposition. The Ayatollah Khamenei, or the supreme leader of Iran, was taken away for CIA and the Mossad to introduce an exile prince who started issuing order. The Iranians ignored. They said, we have an existing structure. Did the structure speak that time? No. The structure did not speak. The council in charge, as at that time, was not even reaching out to the Iranian people. But do you know what? The Iranians were patient to allow their structure to make a strategic pronouncement. But in our own case is different. If one need, I don't want to sound derogatory. If somebody comes tomorrow and tell you, Onyendu said all of us should dump IPOB and this is a new group. Of course. And tomorrow we expert in transferring blame. You know, we find it difficult to take responsibility. That is one thing I notice in our life. We do not take responsibilities. We're always in search of, who do I apportion blame to? Who? You see, sometimes it's not the external factors. It is the mental factor. It is mental disposition. Why I always push global event to you, for you to understand that you are not the only person facing challenge you're facing. When it comes to suppression, after all, we have never been, tarmac hawk has never been used on our soil. There are people who are everyday bombed. Ordinances are falling from their sky. And they refuse to start listening. Supreme Leader said, Ayatollah Khamenei said, he has said, even when the man was not appearing again, the people were still disciplined to stand strong. But trust our own people. You take away the leader of indigenous people of Biafra. Then you introduce somebody who comes and make noise. I even fooled the people and told them that start counting 40 days time. And adults we are counting. Adults. And when you tell the adults after the 40 days, what happened? Instead of him to say, I was foolish, I was deceived, I was mentally weak, I showcased toddlership in thinking. Instead of him to take responsibility, the next thing he will say, oh, I did that now because the DOS did not speak. You see, wise men take responsibilities. Where they get it wrong, they say, we have gotten it wrong. At most, they step aside. But in our own case, we're even in arrogant, we show arrogancy. Even when we are in, we have caused a lot of mess. Even when we have messed up everything. Instead of us to admit, oh, I'm sorry, what I did is not good. Pride, that unchecked pride keeps telling us, keep pushing, keep saying it. At most, say that this person, you see, this is the Adam factor. Adam factor of it is the woman you gave to me, if not her. Instead of take response, oh God, I'm sorry, I miscalculated, I'm so sorry for what I did. No, it's that woman. If not be that woman, where you give me for not chopper. Arrant nonsense. Very destructive mindset. So let us understand the place of mind in freedom fighting. If the place of mind in freedom fighting. In fact, as a matter of fact, let me even tell us. You see, so many of us, especially those of us, as a matter of fact, some of us who have privilege to be doing what I'm doing. We have people who listen to us. We have people who could burn their data, listening to us. So many of us even arrogate what we are not. I always say it. There are so many of us, if you have, maybe you have number of people listening to you. If you're me, you have number of people listening to you, some number of people taking you serious. By now, some of us would have started issuing order. We'll be fine. Some of us, if you are me, oh, he discussed global politics, people listening to him and all that. By now, you will find it difficult to even submit to the leadership. Or some of you would have started looking for position. Hey, let me see. By now, they're supposed to recognize me now. It's like in an arrogant way, some of us push issues. Oh, they're supposed to have recognized me. They're supposed to have given me a position. They're supposed to have said this one. Who is in that leadership self? That is popular like me. You see, useless mindset, useless mentality. And that is very destructive to us as a people. It's really, really destructive. Because your mind contributes 80% of your success. A country is not powerful by its geographical composition. No. A country is powerful by the mental disposition of the occupants. Let me give you instance. When you see US now, everybody say, oh, US is a superpower. Not because of that land. It is the occupants. How the occupants think. How they reason. That is what makes that geographical location powerful. If you carry people in US, bring them in Nigeria, and carry people in Nigeria and bring the US, give them 2 years interval, US will turn to Ikorodu. It will turn to the most dirtiest place to live. And Nigeria will be transformed overnight like US. So it's not a question of, this people, this land is blessed, this. It is all about the mental disposition of the people. So if we cannot exhibit mental toughness, as a matter of fact, I always say it right from ab initio. You see, most of you always have, some of us, not most of you, let me use the word us, but we are all in this mess. Some of us have this idea that that the Biafra they are pursuing is time-defined. One that I will spend time to talk about this. You see, that the Biafran we are pursuing is time-defined. Oh, they told us 100 days. And when people like us are telling you that such a thing is not possible, you have to play the global politics in it. You have to reach out to, you have to make friends. And in course of making friends, you must be, as much as, you must have integrity to present. You can't be the type who says yes in the morning and at night you're saying no. And you want people, you want a country to entrust herself to you. It doesn't work that way. You can't be a talkative, one who does not keep secret. Life is all about secret. You can't be one that in a little provocation, everything is on air. Then you expect countries to work with you. No, now. In international politics, there are certain mess. There are places mess are done. Ask yourself, how do they manage it? Because it is a game of the matured in mind, not in age. You can still be 100 years. You can't fit in. Yes, you can be 100 years, you can't fit in. Because you're the type who toss unguidedly. Just the way I'm looking at some of these boys who open mouth and talk, especially somebody like Darlington. He does not know he has ruined himself. He is finished in this world and what to come. Those who are applauding him when he's busy talking, some of this private discussion he had with people in time past, and in a little quarrel, he ons camera and start discussing. He doesn't know that even those who are shouting, hey, you're saying it, blah, 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 they can't even trust him again. They cannot even trust him again. But to him, he's making impact. Although it's the scope of his bread. So what am I trying to say? We must learn from people. I don't want this program to be a lengthy one, so that we also have time. Those of us who are not currently online can have time to listen. But we must be respected by our mental disposition first, before what we have. You see why it seems as if the Arab countries are not interested to join the war. Europeans is because of the mental disposition of Iranians. If they are porous, if they are vulnerable to start shouting city boys, if they are so weak that if you tell them tomorrow is Avid, they started shouting Avid. You tell them sunrise next tomorrow, they leave Avid and start shouting. You tell them, okay, tomorrow there is a group I'm bringing, and they started shouting, oh, new group, new group. If the Iranians are like that, there would have been a walkover. No country will want to commit her strength, her resources on people who do not even know where they're going to, who are ideologically complex, who cannot be defined. You can't define them. When you introduce Nigeria, that is how we can do it. We can bargain for restructure Nigeria, and you see them, they start switching the word. That means you don't have ideological identity. You don't have ideology that people can say, this, he will accept this, he will not accept it. Ideologically, you don't have identity. And nobody will work with anybody who doesn't have a name. You don't have identity. Just like somebody say he wants to do business with you. You ask him, what is his name? He said, I don't have a name. I don't think you can stake your resources with such fellow. Because first of all, you must have identity. In ideology, you must have identity. just the way you must have a name. But when you are ubiquitous in nature, chameleonic in nature, today you're here, tomorrow you're in another place. In fact, multiple and confusing signal. Today, you're talking IPOB. Tomorrow, oh, it's autopilot. Next tomorrow, Avid. Next tomorrow to come, sunrise. Okay, next month, okay, as in the ambassador Kaima. Next 3 months is on sea hand. Now, oh, it's coalition. Coalition. The world cannot take you serious. The world cannot take you serious. Because you don't have ideological disposition. A defined ideology, you don't have it. You're just a wangler. Directionless. What I'm telling you is not a local culture. It's international culture. This is how international standards are. So except you are just pursuing your village thing. If it's your village agenda, no problem. You can ride it on, your village concept, your village methodology. It is quite acceptable. But if you say you're fighting for self-determination, for sovereignty, for sovereign state, you must abide by global standard. You must abide by global standard. But if it is your village autonomous community, no problem. No problem. If it is a kangaroo autonomous community, no problem. If it is a four-way autonomous community, no problem. You can localize. You can do whatever you want to do. You can do anything you want to do. If it is Abacha autonomous community, if it is Amozare, if it is Chokolese, if it is what is it called? Imerienwe, there is no problem. But if it is you're fighting for a sovereign state, remember that is going to be a member of sub-regional group, regional group, international organization. There is a defined norm. There is a defined norm. The Somaliland people got that standard and they became attractive for investment. Do you think Israel is there for a joke? Israel is there because of investment. They got the standard. Were they shooting guns? Very, very important. You must understand that. You must understand that. Meanwhile, the line is open for those who want to call. You can call in. But before that, let me go to Mazi Koda because let me go to you, and I believe you are there. Let me get to you. Then, while we are waiting for other people to call in. So, if you're asking for Omonama Autonomous Community, we have no problem with you. According to Chinyere Elizabeth SAG. Okay, Mazi, you're there. Go ahead.
From here and watch me.
Never.
A little busy, but I can see analysis. More the master analysis here. I don't know where the analyzed that is going on even in IPO. So I really want to appreciate you on that, coming consistently every Sunday to give this to our people. I think it's the only thing you like to give on the mouth for your book to give on the bridge to win. Coming to what you're analyzing this afternoon. Globally, when you say things or this, somebody will misunderstand it. They don't understand the type of where you are coming from. But I know that most of us are diplomas, or I don't know how to the people that went to Cambridge. There's things that's called natural thinking. And they just natural let me put it down. Again, somebody that went to engineering school, went to his master's in engineering. To compare the boy who go around mechanic village, one boy for 6 years. You can't compare two of them. Before going to agricultural school, I got technically, come and make a level, come and go too fast. They are technically, practically go here. Only two different things. But that grammar, you beat him hand down. But that engineer, and we have to say it the way it is. They are analyzing this now. Some people that want to take us to say, only can I call a cultural government so, but they don't know where you are coming from. They don't know the ingredient of what you are telling them. But obviously, if not you and careless, you can see the improvement of your analysis anytime you come online. Our people best to understand. And they are really happy that you give what you are teaching in the color to come down. So it's not easy, what is going on global, especially in IPO. But everybody has to calm down. And we usually want allows the way enough for him not to be misguided. So we need to allow very, very well what we really want in this struggle. As of us have suffered, putting our efforts as you are here now, we are going to be articulate to everyone asking, we are here analyzing things, making sure that our people is not misguided. So here we are on this IPOB. You're talking about the maybe somebody changing something. You started with the Mercedes Benz as a product. Tomorrow, after having they want to go and answer enough. You won't show with that. You won't show. Because what you have named alone, my big only that name is why people love you and why people want to come around you by the product. But that by you, but there will be another Mercedes that year, you know. When they will say, these people are running bankrupt or how they collapse, Maybe you want to do well, let them not misunderstand us. But because of changing name from that Mercedes going to a Citroen, it was a very big problem. That is what we are seeing today in the IPO. We never thought about IPOB going to have a branch any kind. We never think about IPOB going to have a divided house. Unless Maria about years, we know of because our mom will take us now, because you are one of the good members. So, what I'm telling today, I want to encourage Biafrans. Take it easy. You are seeing on social media. Go to your coordinators. Ask questions. Wait for the questions to be asked properly. Don't be emotional or to go write nonsense or to apply what you don't know to defend the money. That is the only advice I want to give to Biafrans. Make sure you get your proper information. Know how it started and know how to respond to it. Mazi, I will come.
Ndewo, Mazi. Thanks so much for your contribution. Okay, we'll go to the next caller. We have so many calls in, and we're trying to get back to them as much as we can. Very, very important. Okay, caller, good afternoon from here.
Mazi, may I bless you so much.
And you too.
Mazi,
whenever you come on, you don't know what you are impacting on us. This issue that you're talking today now is something that has been passing through. And there was a time in Mazi Jonathan's program. I told Mazi Jonathan that it's not that I don't want Biafra to come. That is my desire. And I think the Biafra that I want is the Biafra of our mentality to improve. And the way it is that I cannot want Biafra to come now. Immediately, most of our started calling and all of those things. Because there was one thing that came to say that there will come a time when even Nigeria will be telling us to lose. It was making reference to we developing in time of our mind, knowing, being strategic in our ways, trying to bring in our strengths, all our economic advantage and strength and all of those things, trying to use it for our own advantage against the Nigerian state in order for them to know that what they have been doing to us have, not good. But people think it is one time that, a supernatural being come out, just as it is in the Bible. Yes, Nigerian states on their own have been, running themselves down with their policies, the economic strangulation. But we should know that on our own, we have to develop. Even I told one of my friends that there is one of our brother that used to, run a program every Sunday that I would like him, because if I told that I used to stay with him because I spend every day with him. That is a shame that he has not been able to grow up on, when it comes to this, our agitation and all this, our struggle. That I would like him to start listening. He said every day, they just want to see results. And if you watch most of all these countries all around the world, like Palestine, you know that Palestine have so many groups. But you know that most of the time Palestinian people, when it comes to their agenda, or when it comes to, they still present to the group that the Israel are taking over their spaces, taking out and all of those things. But if you have 100 organizations, those 100 organizations, you see the effect in all of us. Sometimes I used to say that the DOS are slow, and they are. My explanation on that is that it's like when you put a pot in a fire, and pot, you forgot it and it's burning. You don't cook it and pour in your gas, soup or whatever you put in the burn it. You first acknowledge what you do by looking for you to bring down that and also quench the stove. It's very serious and our people's mentality. Because when man will shout, how many people did you see? They understand of our plan, not the best approach, which is to tell our people the reality. And you find out when the disease, it looks as if it doesn't occur. It's only the real people that knows what it is. And really, you can become that you don't understand what the teachers are teaching. So I think that in this very present time, we have gone away with all of those time of shooting and yabbing. This is time for mental, strength. You must be equipped to be very, very strong in your mind. Most of the times, if I call a program to contribute, many of the things I don't understand, I have developed that whatever that comes in this our struggle, take my time. But the body is broadcast for our president and all for everything to understand what everything means. Understand. So because if you're asking questions, sometimes you might ask the stupid one. You don't have the bit of mind at the time. That's very patience. Watch to the relationship. I have tremendous confidence in every of our brothers and sisters in this job, I have all this word confidence, And so what I do is that I start, my brain, my mentality, start looking at why this thing goes, why is it like this? Listening from broadcast to broadcast, listening the body language of the leadership and all of this. With time, I will just know what they are up to. I say, may Elohim bless you. And also bless the leadership. One of the things that you are a blessing to this leadership, this very organization, especially this your lately exhibition. And I pray that most of our presenters and our media goes in this very line, because we've gone from those primary positions, explaining things to people, to this stage we are today. And I Elohim keep you in good health and all your prayer, pray keeps you, because we do, and you know how things here.
Okay, Mazi, sorry, we have to. Just sorry for that. I didn't know.
Good morning from here.
Yeah, should I say good afternoon or good evening?
Yeah, my name is Kanu. I'm calling from Houston, Texas.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your great job.
That's all.
Your analysis is top. And I'm coming with the question. Because you made an example. You said that if Nigerians if we are to bring Nigerians to the United States and move the United States up to Nigeria, that automatically Nigerians destroy here, because in their mental setting, their mental capacity, they don't have what it takes to maintain here. And taking the U.S. citizens to Nigeria, because we have the medical ingredients to move in country and forward, that we are going to see advancement in Nigeria, whereas here in the United States, that girls will rubbish it. Now, let's get our people to expand our people to city in order for people to realize or achieve our goal. Because this is very, very important.
Okay, thanks so much. Thanks once again for calling in this program. Well, the allusion I made here is not why I use the word. If you carefully observe, I hope you're still here.
I'm here.
Good. If you carefully observe, I use the word Nigeria. And when I made locational reference, I said Ikorodu.
Okay.
I never mentioned any location in Igbo land. I know the reason why I do that. Because there is no ideology, there is no organic ideology known as Nigerian ideology. Nigeria is an aberration. And any ideology that comes from that nomenclature is also an aberration. It's dead and baseless. If I say, for instance, the Igbo, that is where my position is going to be open for contention. Because when you look at the Igbo, they have a history, they have a culture. And these histories and cultures, if you look at North culture, is over 5,000 years. So you cannot look at people who have built such centuries of cultures and say, if you take them to US, they are going to mess their up. But if you take a Nigerian, what I mean by Kanu Bronu civilization. So at the level of ethnic uniqueness, you cannot make such reference. But at the level of supranational identity, which is coined from Britain, as a matter of fact, derogatory identity, nigger area, Nigeria. So you could make that assumption. So when I say, if you take Nigerians, I'm talking about those who still wear that racist identity, because it was torn out of racial discrimination by Florence Shaw. Am I correct? So that is what my position is on that. So I did not make ethnic identity, but I made the identity that was war on a people by their colonial masters.
Yeah, I think I understand you. So now I'm going to throw you that question. Because since they kidnapped Mazi and Kanu, I have this series of leadership crises internally. Now, my question is, why is this crisis? Because as a student of Mazi and Kanu, I remember it was a time he made a statement already in Biafra saying that in his absence, that DOS is in charge. Now, why is it that most of our people are ignorant or acting, not in line to these statements or instruction of our leaders? Why is it? How can it be resolved, please?
God bless you. Don't also go out, because to be honest with you, I'm really happy with the kind of questions you're asking. Have you heard about the country called North Korea?
Of course.
Okay. Have you been to North Korea before, or do you know anybody closer to you that have been to North Korea?
Not one.
Okay. Now let me tell you what happens when a tourist visits North Korea. Immediately you land in Pyongyang airport. What they first of all do, if you have your Bible, they dispossess your Bible.
Okay.
If you have your phone, they make sure they control that phone usage.
Okay.
Now, if you have a tourist guide in North Korea, the tourist guide is also spying you unknowingly to you. While he's showing you places you want to see, he's also running an espionage activity on you. Now,
okay,
why is North Korea difficult to be penetrated? Because they have what they call national consciousness of spy and clandestine operation. It's a consciousness in them. It is embedded in them. They grew up getting that consciousness that if they slide, if they sleep, the enemy can undo them disadvantageously. You get what I'm saying? Now, in our own case, we've never been proven to run a struggle where we got inculcated that consciousness of activities of secret services, clandestine operations, covert operations. We don't know. We have never been ingrained with that consciousness. That's why while we are on this struggle, we also bring out time to teach our people about covert operations. I don't think if you can sincerely tell yourself, I don't think all throughout you were raised, your parents took time to teach you about clandestine operation. If they taught good. If they taught you anything, they will only tell you that Ndi soja ndawosa jibiakwa lose anyogo. They talk on conventional warfare. That is what our people got exposed to. We understand war when there is gun sound and cannons. That is our understanding of war. But we do not understand that there is war that is more deadlier than war. It is called covert operation. Clandestine operation. You can bring down a country without shooting a gun through clandestine operation. And that is exactly what Nigeria state decided to deploy on IPOB. Why do they deploy it? Why do they go less on conventional operation? Because they know each time they kill us, we push a story of human rights violation. And it's not speaking good for Nigeria image. So they want to curtail that area. You get what I'm saying? If you want to destroy me now, if you attack me with a machete, I can call police for you, isn't it? There's evidence of assault. Yeah. Now, you might decide not to use machete on me. Rather, contract my brother to attack me. you know you're no longer seen within the gallery. You have automatically disappeared. That's exactly the mission creed Nigerian government decided to use. They don't want to be doing the killing. What they are not saying, let us instigate. Let us run a secret operation. Let us balkanize them. And because our people are not well informed of the reality of asymmetric warfare, they will keep on falling victim. So some of us who understand the reality of this warfare, it is our responsibility to keep on telling our people, listen, your brother ignorantly can be employed to undo the project that will save him and you. So that consciousness, establishing that consciousness as is replicable in North Korea, in Israel, and other successful nations, is very, very paramount in our life. And that is exactly what we are doing. When you see me standing here, not because I have all my time to burn, I can engage in other things, meaningful. But for the fact that we need to let our people understand that, that is why I've been sitting here for the past 1 hour doing what I'm doing.
Mazi, thank you so much. You know, we urge you to keep on the good work.
Thanks so much.
We urge the US to keep on. They are the most powerful chief in the South as a whole. We are very grateful for them, and our whole support is then to keep improving.
Yes.
Until we get to the destination.
Yes.
Keep on and keep keeping on.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Okay, well, we have next 30 minutes to be rounding up. There are people who have been calling, but we need to take it one upon a time. People have been calling. I think I have to get to Okija Biafra. He called earlier, but I was responding to a question. I think Mazi Okija, should still be there. And of course, Patrick and even my wonderful brother also. I need to also get back to you. Mazi Okija, are you there?
Yeah, Mazi, I'm here. Mazi,
Ndewo, Mazi.
In American life, once you go to this your program, we need to rice after weeks. Analysis, audio. You just when every damn thing happened in the hospital of Mazi and Kanu. And I must tell you, you are perfect in this very job. Because he really just very rewind, so let me contribute my own. Because I've said it all, not just give people like reference contribute. If we have the people of broadcast culture of Rujijiboji. So all your bonus for all your video bracket, you Biafra in the one. On the Biafran efforts will be activated. Now I'm not saying because I'm almost 3 years now. Now I'm talking Biafran efforts I have. So the simple thing is that our people must learn. They must learn. You have said it all, and what you said is in the correct, accurate position. Exactly what happened to America, and you make a difference by they say take away the leader. Take away the leader. And you make it clear that not that take away the leader, the person must be killed. But Nnamdi Kanu is in the hands of enemy. And we all see how the Nigerian government and its agent brought Simon Eba. We are talking about Simon Eba who is nowhere to be found now. We have other people who call themselves Rising Sun and have it. And the other names. Our people must come to understand that freedom fighting is not the way they think it. So, and you must know the meaning of organization and the structure. Once you know the meaning of organization and the structure, you stand by the structure, no matter what happens. These are statements in the can be said, follow the US. It's US, they are the final decision makers in the Biafra freedom. Any say goes. If you have any grudges, keep it to yourself. When I'm out, bring your complaint to me. He said, now that when you bring the complaint, Mazi Kanu will rise up. He said, no, he said, come and blame me for telling you to follow GOS. But wow, after the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Kanu within 1 month, it's even up to 1 month. Some members of IPOB who call themselves Senators for Biafra, they said, no, that chief did not address us. They did not address anybody. So they were confused. Not that they were confused. These are people known as Feds and Agu in Igbo language. But Mazi Kanu make it clear that this very hardcore can never be penetrated. And I will appreciate this very hardcore people like you who continue to educate us in this very field of, this political aspect of it. So I want to appreciate you. Continue to do your work. God is your strength.
Mazi. Thanks so much. That is Mazi Okeja. I'm getting to our brother in Germany so that we can also, we have, I think we have, okay, Mazi, are you there? Are you there live and direct? There, we are listening to you. We are listening to you.
Okay. Just now, as you want to for the week, the money thank you. Can do small. The way you life. Anytime I want to see refer you to when you started, all you knows. Yeah, where did you get information from BBC? You know, say people like us were trying to born to one day wake up, and then I can't today. You know what they did I now only because I can't spend you back in life and say I had a class of a break. So we continue. Even in a when you were planted on my Ghana Chabu Baba, the home of Biafra, Congress, 1 month. Educated women, many people gave book itself. Too much. They pay higher. They also share the so I know people want to get me American and no pan along so one movie, no matter what, they will be coming, try to put it on what we are doing. They will try, they will fail. So in terms of international politics, our people are mad at now. Any short about New York, Mobana, Britain will have today anymore. So, but when we are talking about international diplomacy, maybe a talent and what they are corruption, because if you know IPOB and the Biafran struggle ends up in coming on Facebook to talk blah blah blah, and then picture saga have another level of it, which the US have entered now. So this realm now, frequency in a more breadth now, with the people associated with you, with our leadership, all the people above them. So instead of in this world, they don't make it. Understand? I remember buying our own job, buying the boy, particularly anytime you go with a pipe in a village. Have 200 gas alone. Get the area with them down. So they don't make it. That place, even a great picture capacity. Now, okay. But now, as you are not so, what I'm trying to say now is just to encourage you. Any I'm driver, head ahead, as of la break. As of la break. Like, no one will be that time.
So all the demons, I make it that I get bed, go get one side. Now that's what brought the night. I had that. That's what you know.
There.
So continue.
There, Mazi. Okay, that is my brother. A wonderful advice. Okay, call, are you there? Mazi, there. Thanks so much.
Go ahead.
There.
Okay, there, Mazi, I'm a follower of you since 2015, 2016.
Thank
so,
you.
You're a wonderful person, you know. Because of you, most of us is in this struggle. Because I like somebody who is consistent. Since you are in this struggle, you're always a consistent person. And you never change. Never move. Start is for the right to do and what will benefit us in this struggle. And that is the reason why at any time, any day, I'm a follower. So anywhere you go, you know, I'm impressed for your teachings and everything you're doing to make sure say this our struggle succeed. And that is the reason why, you know, we must focus and make sure say we get this Biafra we are looking for. So forget about all these gossipers. Every time you are in this thing is big talking, you know. Don't you know that our people doesn't have that tough mentality to stand anything. Anywhere they push you go. If they push them front, they go. If they push them back, they go. They never understand what it takes to be free. That is the problem our people are having, you know. So let's say we must continue to make sure we educate them, make sure to enlighten them the reason on what we must do to make sure, say, that our struggle is fulfilled. You know. So when some people are saying that we are disobeying our leader. Our leader we are following since 2013, 2014, till date, contributing to make sure that this struggle will get our freedom. Not disrespecting or not following our leader. The point is that if somebody is place that doesn't know what is going on outside, they cannot expect that person to be telling you what is going on outside and giving you to do and what for it is of what's going on around or within ourselves. So when people are saying we are not taking out from our leader, you know, these things are distractions. It's the one thing is to know this stuff. It's the Nigerian day agents. We know that. So we must focus, DOS themselves must focus and make sure they still carry us, they go where we're going. Because we are going is to get our freedom and nothing passes to freedom. But we are in bondage, that's you know, which all of them knows that they cannot expect those have to come out. So that is the reason why I came here. We want to come out from that bondage. So I want to thank you very much. Mazi Chika Austin. You're a wonderful man, you know.
Thank you.
I can't stop to appreciate the way, you know, since you are calling in district is Sunrise TV.
Yes, yes.
2015.
Yes, with Nnamdi. Yes.
Yeah, with Nnamdi. With Mazi.
Yeah.
You never even stay for. That is why I still respect you. I respect the way you do things, the way you stand strong. You know, when people are out and looking for. Like this one, what they call themselves Oji. The other one, where is not of hungry people. Wale doesn't say it before. Hungry people doesn't do freedom fighting. They push you left to go. They push you front to go. It's not freedom fighting. Those people, they come what they want to benefit. But how still you, right from 2015 to today, still stand strong, stand straight to what we make, what will benefit all of us. You're even saying what will make our life be better. So that is the reason why anytime, anywhere you get, anything you are doing, anytime you come out from problem, even though I'm doing that, you come out from live program, I'm there.
Thank you.
Because you are teachers. It helped me a lot. I learned a lot from you.
Thank you so much.
You know? So that's the reason why we must get this Biafra. It's not so maybe billions come out. Now, somebody like you is the people that we are looking. People who can educate our people to make our people understand the reason of freedom and how we can work collectively to achieve our goals. Not this one they talk left, this one they talk right. They give this one peanuts. Let's talk and change mouth. Hey, you haven't respected our leader. You have disrespected our leader. It is our leader. Give order. We have structure. I'm telling you, this thing is something. This is what I'm telling this kind of people. This thing they irritate me. I'm telling you honestly. It irritates me. You know. While we have
those shouting, those of them.
Make our leader come out and believe they give that order.
Those of them, do you know how Mazi, do you know how terrible they are? Those of them who said our leader gave order and you disrespect her. Do you know Aloy told them all road leads to Aba. Darlington lives in the zoo. He was not in Aba. Philosopher and the father from Ebobi to Aba is just less than 1 hour. Philosopher and the father. He could not even go. They all are avoided that order. You see,
because the rising sun don't give them money. Is that one?
maybe transport money was not made available or data money. So you know, sometimes you wonder. I always tell people, you don't just like somebody because of what you're benefiting. Don't join a movement because what you think you will benefit. Join it out of conviction so that you use your own money. You use your money, you use your time and dedicate to it. So when you see all these boys making noise, you even find out that even other one, they are not even, were they not meant to be in Aba and stream that program live? But all of them hid. All of them hid themselves. And on Facebook making noise.
You know,
it's unfortunate.
Sorry for disrupting you. You get the one why I see the I don't know whether I want whether this day our Nnamdi Kanu is Makila on the people. You know, people who can who will be manage Biafra, IPOB, this, that.
No, he didn't say those people. He didn't say those people will manage IPOB. We have to carefully quote people. From what he said there is a group of 100 and deputies. Probably, let's believe we are still observing. But if you ask me, maybe from I don't know. But if actually that is what Onyendu said to him, maybe Onyendu wants to form a group as well, another group or whatever of 100 and 100 and it's 100 and then and the deputies, something like that. So all these things fall back. That's why I said our people should just understand history and politics. You must, if you don't understand it in freedom struggle, you will have a lot of blunders. You will be shooting yourself on the foot without knowing. You see, let me tell us sincere, and let this be on record. If this project fail, nobody should blame Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is a hard truth that nobody might easily say. Good. Why I said you should, if it fails, but it's not going to fail. But the truth is that it's not going to fail. It's practically impossible. Because Onyendu is in a condition that his life is where he is, where he goes, who he talks to, who he listens to, is 70% controlled by the government.
I'm telling you.
Where he is not his choice. Who he speaks to, the government can decide who sees him and who doesn't.
Do you know what I notice? What I notice about this, our leader siblings, is that these guys don't collect money from government. And they are teaching our leader. They are pushing our leader. When somebody is telling you lies every day they tell you.
It might not also, let me also tell you, apart from issue of collecting money, because I love having strong evidence, it might not also be issue of collecting money. The truth, let me also tell you something. If you have a brother that you know that if he's outside, virtually these boys are doing nothing. You know that they are doing nothing. So they survive by mentioning the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who happens to be their brother. So you see, life is all about interest. They know that if
even the one we are living here with is not doing anything.
So
he's sitting here with our money with them.
So even for instance, they might be doing this to also have their brother. There was a program I made. I don't know why Facebook deleted it. That program was deleted because it's a live program. I made that program 2022, and in that program I said that any day these people succeed in reducing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from national asset to family asset, they have destroyed him. 2022, I made that live program. Assuming I knew Facebook would start a policy of deleting live program within 30 days, I would have just recorded and posted so that it could have been a very good retrospective program for our people now. I want that time, I said, if that is done, they are working towards destroying Onyendu. You see, for instance, if you call a popular man, why that popular man is respected is because of the followership base. Not the individual. Not the individual. Individual alone is vulnerable. Why Trump? Why people fear Trump is because of the mega movement. How many people are in mega movement? You're seeing millions of members of mega movement. So when Democrats were there, they were doing everything to paint Trump black so that the mega members will leave that movement. If that movement support base reduces, it's easy to destroy Trump. And that is exactly what government does. Government will do everything possible, either instigating conflict between you and your followers or instigating mistrust between you and your follower. They are studying the followership base. As it's reducing, they are watching. Because they know as it's reducing, everything about you is getting out of the people lives. For instance, there were a time everybody was putting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's picture. You remember? All of a sudden, Kanu came and said, people who are using Mazi Nnamdi Kanu picture and the following years, they should remove it. He started mocking people. Yeah. And people removed it. And
even those who have died because of that,
good. So he started mocking people. And some people
died because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
And people
that drunk is mocking them.
Good. So
it makes me
now, for instance,
people are then the same blood born from Nnamdi.
Well,
because at that time I start thinking the way these guys are behaving.
so
It makes me, it makes me, and that is still make me. I'm telling you honest, I can't lie,
So why I said that first statement, I said the condition, the situation Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not in Afari Beko. He is in Sokoto government facility. Government decide who.
The government know why they.
Government decide who sees him. Government can even listen to every discussion he's making. Let us start telling ourselves the truth, because the worst form of destroying yourself is lying to yourself.
Not this, sorry. Before they decided to transfer him to that facilities that in Sokoto, do you know that have worked on that particular place they keep? They wire that particular place.
We.
Lawyer, they took every day. They'll be teaching him lies. They'll be telling him all sorts of things. DOS do this. DOS, they don't have any other work to do. Only DOS is their problem. If these people are not doing too well, why can't them to walk, or they can't time until this man come out and back struggle and give to them? People want them now, make you carry the struggle, give to them. Because in this struggle is Biafra issue. This they change, as he said. This change regularly. Even though Mazi Nnamdi come out today, the way this is that time is not the way it's going to be. So most of the things people will be asking John, because what I have seen pass and what is playing now, my brother, if you continue like that, the thing will hand us.
Why I so much believe, Mazi, let me tell you something. You see, in this struggle we are, you know, I don't know you. I'm not seeing you. You know, like that.
Yeah, you are not. Yeah.
But you know me. You see me, isn't it?
I know you.
Now, don't make a mistake in analyzing Biafra struggle from Chika Austin. You see, you hear, you know, it's wrong. There are men and women of substance in this struggle.
Yes.
You don't see them on social media. They don't have no business owning their camera for one day. And these are the real strategists who move things. As a matter of fact, any movement that lines up her best, make her best to be known, to be seen, is not a serious movement. If the best of IPOB is people like us, you see, you hear, that means we are not serious.
They are not serious, exactly.
Let me give you another instance. If you look at Israeli scientists, you don't know them.
Yeah.
Iranian scientists, you don't know them. They don't even allow them have access to phone. So every serious society every serious movement put behind their best and showcase the nominal one. So why this project can never fail is because there are men and women. They are not on. You don't see. They can't on their camera for one day. You don't know them, but they are strategists. They are the ones. Since I was born, I've never been to White House. Ask yourself, how do the documents, the petitions, the correspondences of the leadership get to those places?
That is good.
Good. So this project cannot fail. It cannot fail. We have what it takes to deliver it. The only thing is that we have to be careful, not allow infiltrators to destroy us internally. Very, very important. Okay, Mazi, I will be leaving you. Then we answer 2 more calls. Then we come to the end.
Thank you very much, Mazi. I'm happy to speak with you.
Yeah. Okay, so sorry, we have to get to you now. I believe this call is from Asia. We call you, we get two other people. Chukwumandubisi also tried. We'll see if we can get to him. Or let's see if our brother can pick or sister. Okay, Mazi, good evening from here. Or good afternoon. Yeah, good evening. No. Hello? I don't know. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Caller, can you hear me? Okay, maybe we'll come back to you again. Are you there? Good evening. Good evening.
Hello.
Caller, good evening.
Yeah, that's a chica.
Ndewo.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. I didn't know much of what he's saying. There's something I want to say.
Go ahead.
Most times when Masachina Samuel comes online, he always talks about how IPOB members are disappeared, some killed, some nowhere to be found. Wouldn't it be good to have some security analysts and guidance to our people on how they should watch their back? So if it's possible to keep it confidential, the place of location, because maybe these things are caused when IPOB members backslide, they start pointing fingers to IPOB from these homes. Maybe in some cases, they are being followed when going home, which also they should be taught on how to watch their back when going. Because hearing cases of IPOB members being disappeared is very worrisome. And the struggle for the restoration of Biafra is the most dangerous job in the world. I'm telling you, to dismantle identity is not an easy work. And to do that, you have to be extremely careful. And our people need to know how to watch their back, avoid being backed down by the DSS. Because we are calling Nigeria zoo, and it seems as if they are the DSS, the intelligence network of Nigeria. They are all sophisticated, just like the CIA of US, the MI5 and MI6. They are all prepared. You should not tolerate them and relax and think what is happening. Please, our people need to be taught on how to be security conscious.